Chapter 1. Rug Quornum. Caetonemoidia was a world of mist. High above that mist, cliffs and branches poked through, carved at all angles into immense mountainous spires. The thick stone of the planet's largest rock arches and peaks loomed, casting shadows in a seemingly infinite stretch before being absorbed into the dense vapor below. Between, over, and on top of these natural wonders hung gilded cities with ornate towers and reflective sidings, structures suspended as bridges between massive, colossal ridges. But Caetonemoidia did have something beneath all of that, a foundational layer at the base of the thick fog. On normal days, taking the journey from Caetonemoidia's bridge cities to the surface meant a gradual descent into an ever-thickening blanket of white. Today, however, was not a normal day. Because today, something had gone terribly wrong. And the lower the shuttle flew, the more the milky hue of the mist darkened as harsh streams of blackened ash mixed in. Rug Quornum had seen destruction all her life. As an elite commando of the Neimoidian Defense Legion, she dealt with explosives and blaster fire, rockets, and shrapnel. And death. So much death. Most of it by her own doing, courtesy of the custom sniper rifle that felt like an extension of her own limbs. Murder and destruction. That was her life for so many years, doing the will of her government to carve out a better place for Neimoidians in the galaxy. Even now, in her new assignment as a royal guard for Caetonemoidia's capital city of Zara, her goal remained the same: the protection of her people. Rug had taken the assignment in good faith, even though she knew it had been for questioning the judgment of the Trade Federation, a perspective considered dissent by those who held much more sway than a military grunt. Such good faith was being challenged right now, in a time when the galaxy dared to rip itself in two. "Look at that," said the voice of her young partner next to her. Keetar Nor's mouth opened, holding a thought in limbo as a thick, dull gray began to envelop their craft, visibility coming and going from the cockpit of their patrol ship. "It's worse than I imagined." A steady hand and open eyes. That was the only way to approach this. Not only for the flight to the surface, but to understand just what had occurred and why. The call for all available security to go beneath the mist came so fast that Rug piloted their craft on a direct downward path, leaving the port of a neighboring city and abandoning a scheduled prisoner transfer to plunge through the mist. They hadn't even been informed of what they were investigating, just that an emergency so catastrophic had occurred that everyone within a 200-kilometer radius was requested, no, ordered, to drop their tasks and go. Details filled in over comm chatter. A bomb. No. Several bombs. A building collapsed. No. An entire plaza. No. Despite the speculation on the comms, the reality of the situation became clearer with each passing second. And it was far beyond what anyone could have ever guessed. An entire portion of the bridge city, the neighborhood known as Katasura. Blocks and streets of Neimoidian civilization severed within an instant. The structural supports that fastened the district to the rest of Zara evaporated in a blink. All those people, all that life, dropped straight downward through the mist of Caetonemoidia to a sudden violent fate. Dirt and rock mashing into alloys and flesh. But why? Caetonemoidia is neutral, Rug thought. Despite the recent chaos of Geonosis,